Do you feel like you don't know where to meet the right guy and it feels like everybody else is finding their person except for you? If so, then keep watching this video. I'm going to show you the exact thing that could be blocking you. And what I always look to find out if they have a dream for marriage, which is inspirational and it's broad and it's very hopeful. Or do they have a goal for marriage, which is also hopeful, it's also inspiring, but it actually has structure and a plan and execution tied to it? Because one of these helps you meet your husband, and one of them keeps you spinning, hoping that you would meet the right. And actually having a goal with executable plan, with structure and hope, is actually going to help you meet your husband. Just having a dream of marriage, a hope for marriage, a desire for marriage without a goal, without a plan, without a structure, execution is only going to leave you single. And let me tell you how I know this. For so many years, I wanted to be married. But I only had a dream for marriage. I only had the desire and the fantasy, and I could see me walking down the aisle and I can see a picture of us on the beach together. But I didn't really have a plan. I didn't have an executable strategy, a goal for marriage. And honestly, I just thought that if I went out, if I was open, if I met people, if I dated, that I would get married. But I found out the hard way after being in a cycle of failed relationship for 10 years, and all of my friend circle getting married, getting engaged, building families, finding their person, getting into long-term relationships, that I only had a dream of marriage. I did not have a goal. I did not know what to do in order to get myself into the right relationship. But if it's you, I want to help you get out of that cycle today. So here is how you know if you just have a dream for marriage, but not necessarily a goal. A few thoughts that you're thinking and behaviors that you're having. I'm going to break them down. The top 3 thoughts that you're having is, I don't know where to meet good men. Another thought is, I've been out of the dating world for so long, I don't even know where to start. The other thought that lets you know if you have a dream for marriage, but not a goal, is that you thought that you'd be married by now and you're wondering if there's a problem with you. When you ask yourself these questions and you don't have an answer, but you still have the hope for marriage, that is a clear sign that you have the desire for marriage, dream for marriage, but you don't have a real plan that's actually going to help you get married. And here's the behaviors that you do that align with that, right? What you do is you stick to your routines. You go to work, you go to the grocery stores, you come home, you cook, you Netflix, you may log back onto work, right? But that's it. That's your routine. Day in, day out. You may go to the spa, you may go have lunch with a friend, you may travel somewhere, but you have this standard routine that doesn't allow for you to actually execute it. There's no structured plan, right? Also, the other thing that you do that shows that you have a dream that doesn't get you married and not a goal that will get you married is that you spend time fantasizing about being married. You spend time looking at wedding dresses and scrolling through Instagram, seeing people's getting married, their engagement, and you're wishing for it, but you feel stuck. And like, oh, I wish that was me, but I don't know what's happening. That's how you know that you have a dream and not a goal. Here's the thing that actually had me meeting my husband in 90 days, getting a goal. And a little backstory on how I figured this out is that I was an analyst by trade, by profession. And so as an analyst, my job was to find the real root problem of any situation and create a solution for it. And so I just took on my dating life. I'm like, listen, here's the problem, right? I created a goal. I'm like, here's the problem. I'm the problem. There's a problem. Let me figure it out. And I used to always say, let me Six Sigma myself. Let me process, improve my dating life. And that's exactly what I did. I became very intentional about where I went, who I talked to, how I showed up, all the things that were part of a structured plan. Now, I know that may not sound so sexy. It was fun though. And it wasn't in the energy of, oh, I'm looking for my husband, I'm looking for a man, but it was in the energy of, I am going to have a laid out plan, a structured way to meet my husband. I'm going to do X, I'm going to do Y, I'm going to do Z, I'm going to do A, I'm going to do B, do C, so I can create the opportunity for my husband to meet me. Because guess what? The thing that I was doing, sitting around waiting, staying stuck in my routine, just hoping and wishing and wondering what was wrong with me, was not working. That's when I became very intentional. Even to the point, I'll share this one thing, is that I bought my wedding dress years before I even met my husband. Now, in this, it wasn't a perfectly laid plan, right? It wasn't a perfectly laid plan. It took me a while to really stay in that energy. And that's one reason why I'm on here. So I can help you not teeter totter, right? So it was like, oh, I'm working my plan. And what would happen, I would meet somebody and I would stop my plan, right? And I put all my energy and my focus into him instead of continuing to work my plan. And I see that so often in the women that come to me. They end up in 4-year, 5-year, 6-year, 7-year situationships, right, that never lead to marriage because, for one, they had a dream and then they put all their dream into him instead of having a goal, working their goal. When they meet him, keep working their plan. Right, you have to keep working your plan until he proposes, right, until he becomes the one. But what happens, we just go and we give up on our dream and we put our dream into him, and then that relationship falls apart. So you're, hopefully by now you're like, okay, Marlena, what goals do I need to set, right? Here's the 3 easy goals that you can set to end up starting meeting the right type of men for you, right? So that you can have the opportunity to even meet your future husband. One, I want you to go and I want you to search on Instagram. I want you to search on Google for events that are geared towards single people. They're happening all over the country where there are jigsaw puzzles. There's dinner with 4 single people. There's speed dating, which is very traditional, but there's so many people putting together these events because people are tired of the online space. It is really hard for men and women to know where to go to actually meet people. So I love how people are curating this space just for single people to mingle and to get to know each other. That's the first thing. The second thing, once you find this event, I want you to plan at least 2 events for this month. And I want you to find it, read through it, and book it. Get your tickets. Don't wait until you find a friend to go with you. Don't wait to say, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be available that day. Make yourself available. Put it on the plan. Put it on your calendar. Make sure that you're available that day. Okay? When you get there, I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to simply walk up to a guy, walk up to a woman, and I want you to introduce yourself. Like, hi, I'm Marlena. What's your name? And you would be surprised how far that will go, especially with men, because men are nervous too about introducing themselves. If they're going to be turned down, they even think, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, she's out of my league. So you may have to take the first step. Not may have to. I want you to take the first step, right? So that you can create the opportunity. Everybody is there to meet somebody. And that is the beauty of these type of events. You know, they're there to meet somebody. They're there open to mingle. And it's not the energy of, oh, I'm looking for my husband, or, oh, I'm pursuing a man. It's not that type of energy. It's the energy of, I have a plan to meet my future husband this year. And so I need to create the opportunity for us to meet. And what is my responsibility? What is my part in that? Yes, have the dream, have the inspiration, do all the things on the dream board, but you got to put things into action, right? And I just gave you a short, simple, easy plan to do. Now, this may be freaking you out because you've only had the dream and not the plan. Here's some things that I know you're probably thinking that I want to just address right now. You're probably like, oh, I'm online dating. I do have a plan. I do get out the house. I do go out to the events. Here's the thing. What are you doing when you're online? Do you have the right pictures up? Are they showing your personality? What does your profile say? Is your profile inviting enough? Do you ever reach out to the person, right? Do you ever know how to take the conversation from online introductions to actually being able to meet in person? If you don't know how to do that, then you have a plan, but you're not working it effectively, right? Because there is a whole strategy to dating online. A lot of people just throw up a profile and hope and wish and dream that it's going to happen, but you really need a plan for online dating so that you can get off of the chats into person and really connect person to person, belly to belly, right? So that you can meet your next person. The other thing that I know that you're going to say is that I got a really busy schedule and it's unpredictable and I travel for work and there's no places, there's no men in my city, right? You have all these excuses about time, place, and people. The real truth is you just don't have a goal. You don't have a plan. And I just gave you a really, really short one. So put it in your schedule now. If you don't have time for yourself to put your plan into place, then your husband, your future husband's going to overlook you because he's not going to see room in your life. He's going to see that you're at capacity, that your schedule is full, that you don't have any time or any room for him in his life, and he's not going to see you as an option. So even if your schedule is busy, even if you feel like there's a small pool of available men in your city, those are really excuses because you don't have a plan. So the other objection that you may have is like, I'm awkward. I don't like going to places. I don't know how to start conversations with strangers. I totally get it. But guess what? That's why I say go to a place that's geared for single people, because everybody's there to introduce themselves. And when you break the ice by just simply introducing yourself to a guy, he's going to feel so relieved, right? Just introduce yourself and the conversation will pick steam from there, right? Because we're humans. We have to learn how to interact. And the thing of it is, everybody's nervous. Everybody there is nervous. Even the cutest, hottest, coolest guy is still nervous, right? He's still nervous. And so nervousness is okay. Just introduce yourself. Just simply introduce yourself. If you're saying, I've tried all these things, I've done all these things, and I still haven't met any man that I really like, it's because, again, even though you were taking these steps, you weren't embodying the intention of this is my goal, right? You were still in the energy or in the thought or not sure if this is going to work. You're throwing stuff at the wall. You weren't really confident in your plan because you didn't know there was a plan. If you're doing all the things that I said and you still haven't met your person, it's because there's still a part of you that's not completely committed to the goal, not committed to the plan, or your plan needs to shift, right? There's some other things that's happening, but more than likely your intention was not on this is my plan for love. Your intention was I'm doing all these things and I hope and wish that I meet somebody. Back to the dream. So you can be doing something and not be fully bought into that this is the right way to do it. And that will keep you from meeting somebody that you really like. I hope that's helpful for you. So here's the thing as I close this out. I hope this is very helpful for you, knowing the difference between having a dream for marriage and having a goal for marriage. Having a goal for marriage is what helped me meet my husband in 90 days after 10 years of getting it wrong. If you found this information helpful, I would love for you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and would love to hear your thoughts on the dream and the goal and what your thoughts were. And if you're really ready to meet your future husband and be engaged by the end of the year, I invite you to set up a sales call with me where we are going to create you a unique specified plan right there on the call for you to meet your future husband and us to work together one-on-one. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you later.